What up, folks? This is your boy Dino, aka your Solid Five. This is Beyond the Ether podcast. I am one half of the Bow Crew, and we have a special guest today. We have Dianne Simpson. How are you?
I'm fine and you, David.
I'm great. I'm doing well. Uh,
Good.
yeah. First of all, I forgot how much of a time difference there is between you're in South Africa, correct?
I am indeed, yeah, and I think it's 10 hours difference with Pacific time to
Yeah.
here.
That's quite the
But
jump.
all good. I'm a late night owl anyway, so it's so fine.
Oh, I am too. I'm up like late every day, so.
Yeah. So
Um,
no problem.
First of all, I wanted to go back in time. Um, I wanted to know like how you got into acting. I know you're like you've done a ton of theater. So I'd love to talk a little bit about that. So what
Mhm.
inspired you to get into it?
Um, I think when I was small, I've always sort of, and specifically with American, because in South Africa we got a lot of the American influence coming
Mm,
to South Africa, like sitcoms and things like that. And
right.
I would find myself sort of hearing what I was hearing and going into the mirror and sort of practicing and really not sort of putting the two together. It's only until later that I actually saw a theatre production and I
Mm,
was about 13. And what I saw, I'm a bit obsessed with fairy tales, and it was like a
okay.
pantomime thing. And I just saw these people doing the stuff on stage, and it was like something hit me like a bolt of lightning. I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. And weirdly enough, always the villains intrigued me.
Okay.
So I've either done sort of more sort of comedies because of the sitcoms that we got. I was very much into the whole sort of comedic aspect of it, or the villains. That's kind of where I find myself mainly doing, specifically in theatre as well. So yeah.
As you can tell, I'm obsessed with villains too. So
I see. No, because I being so obsessed with fairy tales and stuff, I would write one woman cabarets about the evil queen of Snow White and her story and her
mm,
backstory and why she became who she becomes.
right.
I'm intrigued with why villains are who they are.
Oh yeah. I mean, villains always have an interesting backstory, or at least for the most part. So
Yeah,
I love watching all that stuff because I'm like, they all have stories, and like
absolutely.
sometimes tragic too. So
Yeah, yeah,
most of the time,
absolutely. And even the character I played, she had a huge backstory and it's a little disturbing, but she
right?
still had a backstory of why she did what she did. She wasn't just bad.
Yeah.
People are just not bad for the sake of being bad.
I mean, trauma can affect somebody in totally different ways, So,
Completely,
um,
completely.
and did you go to school for art?
Sorry,
Like theater? Did you go to school for like theater art?
I did. I studied in a place called Pretoria, which is just outside of Johannesburg.
Okay.
And yeah, we mainly just did theatre. So it was theatre studies and theatre school. And it was, I got a great grounding for theatre. Weirdly enough, not for film. So I hadn't, um, film only came like very recently. Like I haven't done much. It's been more of a recent thing. I think I'm a little
Right.
bit over the top in my theatre things, and
Well,
sometimes it came out.
I mean, yeah, but you can tell like you're so seasoned already, like you can just tell you're just so comfortable on the screen and you're just like, I got it, boom, right there,
Oh,
And
love
it's
it.
just
But
yeah.
it was a gift of a part. I know a lot of people wouldn't think of that. They'd go, "My God!" But it was really, really a gift of a part to allow that kind of that to come out, the theatrics, shall we say?
Yeah. Um, do you have a favorite play that you've been in? Because I know you've done so many classic ones. Like I
Yeah.
saw like Oliver Twist. I saw a ton of
Yeah,
them. It's so hard to like narrow down.
it is hard to narrow down. There's one called it's by one of my favorite authors, and he's a South African, and his name was Ethel Fugard. He died this year. He's actually just died
Mm,
now, and he was so pivotal, specifically when I was younger, like in the sort of late 80s and 90s and stuff. And he was doing very progressional theatre, and he had two shows, one called Helen Goodbye and the other one called The Road to Mecca, and both of those plays were just pivotal for me. They taught me what it was to really get into a character and a part. And I did them when I was studying. But then at the same time when I was studying, uh, all of the plays that really were so influential was when I was studying. And that was I also did a thing called You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, which was the sort of
Okay.
comedic musical part. That I also went into sort of musicals and stuff. So both of those incredibly influential. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. One's comedic and
Gotcha.
musical, the other one's terribly tragic and
Right, right.
character driven. But those stand out.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately I've never gone into theater.
Hmm.
But now that I've like talked to like a lot of actors as yourself,
Yeah.
from all parts of the world now, like I'm like, man, what am I missing out on? So much that I haven't seen and
Yeah.
um
Are you an
so
actor yourself, David?
I wish.
Oh
I've done
man.
I've done one thing recently for a contest where
Okay.
me and my coworker, my buddy, he like basically directed it. And
Yeah.
we used this backdrop, and it was just like me trying to it was me trying to convince somebody to take them on a ghost hunt. And it was like me being very cryptic and like creepy. And I
Yeah.
was wearing a skin mask, kind of like Leatherface. And so, very like just out there, like over the top. It was only 1 minute, and it's the only thing I've ever done. And I was like, but it was so fascinating and so fun and so creative. And it took us 3 hours to get 1 minute.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
it was like worth it.
it is such fun. It's and they're called plays and for a reason. It's
Yeah.
such a beautiful way, and we are such creative beings, and we think that having fun in your work is like sort of we must be doing something wrong, but it's just it's tapping into emotions is there's nothing like it. It's the best. It's the
Yeah,
best.
yeah. I want to do more, and I was telling him like we gotta figure something else. Um,
Yeah,
it's on my channel. It's on the channel, so like you check it out. It's a weird
I
black and white, and
will.
then it goes in color. But it's very small. Again, I write it on the side, so
Yeah,
it's one thing I'll get into more hopefully soon. But yeah,
you should.
no, I don't have any experience on it. I'm a podcaster. That's all I do.
Yeah. Well, let me know when you're in stuff and I'll send it
Mm.
over.
I know, yeah, please. Um, and I saw like I was going down your page a little bit, and I saw you were nominated for Best Supporting Actor, female,
Yeah.
and that was Naledi.
Naledi. Yeah,
Yeah,
Naledi.
that's
Um,
a pretty cool like thing to you know.
yeah, it was uh it's a local, it's a Johannesburg sort of local theatre
Yeah,
awards
but
and
still,
it's yeah.
yeah.
It was a
Oh,
nice little murder mystery. Agatha Christie witnessed the prosecution. It was great. Yeah.
must have been over the moon
Very,
on that
very
one.
honored.
Yeah, I think I feel like plateau that we've gone so far. I'm just like, it's like so gratifying.
Yeah.
All the hard work.
Yeah.
And I saw you did a bunch of no, but you did a couple of animation stuff,
I
voiceovers.
have.
Um,
Oh, yeah, God, I absolutely love that.
do you? Okay,
Me and Amberly were actually comparing notes. Who played? She played Paola in Match, and
okay.
she basically was also doing a thing for Lucasfilms and doing motion
Oh
capture.
wow.
But we did our little version here,
Okay.
and it actually got sold to Canada, the series, and now it's like being dubbed into French. But it was called Silly Seasons. It was just and I actually ended up writing on the thing, and it was so fascinating. We did it for about 2 years, and it really it was so gratifying to just to do voices. And I've always liked to sort of hide behind camera and hide behind masks, and
Yeah.
um, I've never been well known in it because it's just so gratifying to be able to do stuff behind the scenes and just watch it and just go, my God, especially an animation character. I mean, who does not want to play an animation character? It
Right.
was
I
the biggest amount of
I've
fun.
always been intrigued in that because like I'm more of a background person too. Like I'd rather not be up front. I mean, I'm comfortable with like obviously being on camera now, like I'm doing Zoom calls all the
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah.
it's that's a different, it's different like than, being on like film or, but like voiceovers, the only problem I have with that is like, um, I I try to understand me a lot of times because what I kind of make fun of myself. I talk in cursive sometimes.
Yeah.
They're like borders, so sometimes people are like, what did you say? I'm like,
Trying to make yourself heard. Yeah. No, I
yeah.
get it. I get
So it
it.
wouldn't translate very well on audio to
I
animation.
don't
At
know.
least
You'd be
maybe.
surprised.
I would like to do it though. I just haven't tried. So
I
um
can hear. I could hear something
uh
there.
yeah, I was watching you did another animation called Headspace with in America they called it Alien High.
They have,
So
yeah.
you were the receptionist on that, and that was pretty fun to watch. You like raise your voice, right?
I
Like
did,
very
and
high.
weirdly
Yeah,
enough, also I was watching it, and then I was sort of was like, I also recognize that voice, and it's where the principal, who's I think Mrs. Witherington or something, becomes the alien. But before
right.
they become the alien, I'm actually that voice too, which I actually didn't realize. And I was like, I think that's me.
Oh,
We did it such a long time ago, and then suddenly
right.
it like only got released like about a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And I actually forgot we did that straight after Silly Seasons, but that was like in 2015, 16. So it was so long ago that I actually
Mm.
forgot what was, but yes, the receptionist voice is high and then Mrs. Witherington is quite low.
Right,
But
right,
yeah,
right. But it was, I didn't get to finish it because I was just trying to like watch the stuff that like, the people I'm talking to are in.
yeah.
So I got to like maybe halfway, and it's a fun movie from what I saw. Um,
I haven't actually seen, I started to see it because I couldn't get the whole movie because the thing was playing up. So I actually sort of just watched
okay,
little bits and it was just so frustrating to just try and get it to play and
right.
eventually sort of like cut out. So I need to actually watch the whole thing. So I can
It's
say
on
I haven't
Prime
actually
right
watched the whole
now.
thing.
It's on Amazon Prime right now.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
will watch. I will definitely watch them. Thank
I
you.
yeah, yeah. It's well, in America we call it Alien High, so it could either be Alien High or it could be Headspace on yours, on your side of the
Yeah.
world. So
It's
I don't
Headspace
know.
here. And yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, it might not be on Prime on your
Cool.
side then.
Thanks for that. I'll give it a watch.
And then you went from theater and then you transitioned into a lot of TV, right? Um,
Um, I wouldn't say a lot of TV, but some TV. Well, what we have in South Africa and what basically keeps South Africa afloat, as far as is a lot of soap operas. And
okay.
so there's been like, over the years, like the different sort of soap operas, and it's just like playing little guest appearances in, you know, um, I don't think I've never really been any of the main characters in any soaps and
Yeah.
stuff. It's not really been I've never gravitated towards it, and the soaps haven't really gravitated towards me. So I think it's like a mutual sort of, it didn't really happen. So,
Right.
but
And
that's what's
and I saw that you were like in you made several appearances in Benny Landers
been
or
in
Adam.
London. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I've just actually uh, had the second little stint of that now.
Okay.
And yeah, it's also it's a soap opera. It's an
Right.
Afrikaans soap opera, and and yeah, and then I was also in Legacy, which I actually wrote for
Mhm.
Legacy, and then I
I
just
saw
was
that.
the doctor in it. Yeah.
I was trying to find it, but we don't get it in the States. It's
No,
only like streaming on your part. So
it
I was
is.
like,
Yeah.
damn. Sorry,
Yeah.
because I wanted to
It's
see, what you did, and like because I knew you wrote on like most of the show. So
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And there was another thing called Summertide that I wrote on as well, and that's also a sort of
Mm,
not really a soap opera, it's more sort of like just a series, but t sort of more of a telenovela type thing. But
okay.
what's weird is that Match, nobody in South Africa can watch that because Tubi
Right.
is only streams in the States and Canada. And, you know, I've even got friends in the UK and Australia, and they're going, we've got Tubi, but where is we can't get Match? So they haven't actually released it to the places that do have Tubi, but South Africa doesn't have Tubi. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things that we don't have here
I
that
know.
you
I
guys have,
know.
and vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many things where when I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, I can't watch it. So, like I
I
have to wait.
know. Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
Which I was actually
Yeah.
going to bring up another thing is that when you did some shorts and also like a little bit of movie parts, I saw that you did um you one of the first things you did in film was play by heart.
Yeah.
And I saw you did it with well, you were in some scenes with Daniel Jenks.
I was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I just spoke to
We-
him actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, last
Yeah, because
weekend.
he was in Takeout. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm good friends with Dan, and we go way back, and that was like Play by Heart was like way back in sort of 2000, early 2000s. And what's weird is that I actually watched it last night because
Really? Okay.
yeah, a very good friend of mine who he unfortunately died in the middle of this year. He directed it and wrote it, and it was almost like a biography about himself. And Daniel
Okay.
sort of took the part of his friend, and then this other guy played him. So I was just watching. I got very
Am
emotional last night. So it's
am
weird
I
that you
so
mentioned it.
excuse me for not knowing his name because I forgot it, but did he work on Street Trash?
You did,
Yeah.
Gervais.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
also talked to Sean Cameron Michael, and
Yes,
they did a bunch of scenes together and stuff, and I thought that was
they
so
did.
like and obviously
They did.
tragic, and
Oh, yeah,
I wish I
yeah,
would have been able to talk to him as well, but
yeah.
the
He was
universe
like a brother
is
to me.
strange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And talent, such a talent. Anyway,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. You can see it on the
it's
screen
weird
too.
that you mention it because I was watching it last night. Bizarre.
Mm. Yeah, when I talked to Sean, he was like they did a scene together where um and it got very emotional and he was talking about it and he was like, you know why
Yeah,
I did that. It just came out and I was like, oh well,
yeah.
it's part of being an
I
actor, I
can't
guess.
watch Street Trash yet. I can't watch it yet. It's going to take a while to
Yeah, of
get there.
course. Right.
Um, it's yeah. Even he's in Takeout as well. Um, and suddenly he walks into the the diner, and I didn't realize he was in that. He didn't tell me that he was in that,
Oh, I didn't
and
know.
suddenly he walked in, and I got such a fright.
Right,
I
right.
wasn't expecting it, but yeah, yeah, he's a good guy, beautiful guy, the best.
Uh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
So and then I saw this thing on what was it? I was looking at your biography, and it said that you did Racing Stripes, or you were like a part
yeah,
of like crew. So
yeah. It
what was
was.
that experience?
Um, that was an amazing experience. Probably that was probably the best filming experience I've had before this one. Um, because we weren't quite crew and we weren't quite cast. I was a voiceover animal artist. So like, all the animals talk. And we had to basically like listen to people like Dustin Hoffman and Whoopi Goldberg in our ear that did the animal voices and get their rhythm and then sort of speak into the director's ear so that the animal trainers could get the two animals that were maybe speaking to be completely in time so that when their heads move to
Wow.
see if the dialogue would fit into um, the head movements of the animals. So that was our job to basically just speak for the animals on set, and they also they did it here in South Africa. They shot
That must
here.
have been so long.
Oh, I've been very, very lucky to have like because you literally have a little bird's eye view of the entire filming process
Right.
without the pressure. And you literally just see how a big Warner Brothers blockbuster works and from all the moving parts. It's amazing. It was a
Yeah, it's
great experience.
massive. It's massive.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I couldn't like that's got to be so stressful because you have a giant crew, right? For the most part. I mean, you probably have
Yeah.
what I'm just throwing a number out there. You probably have at least 30 people on set, like doing random stuff, right? Like eat on a slow day, probably.
It- Absolutely. And a lot of people that are not used at all. I mean, I was because the animals were trained so well, they had animatronics that basically had like woven hair by hair of like the horse and the zebras and the stuff. And they hardly used them. And like each of those at that stage, and that was 2003,
Right.
they spent like $1 million on each animatronics, and at that time that was a huge
Mhm.
amount, and
Yeah,
none of them got used. I think Pelican was used once to fall into a door, and that was the only animatronics animal they used because the animals were so well trained. So yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
probably got stuck in storage for years.
Exactly. You go like,
Yeah.
when are they going to use that again? I
We'll
don't.
use it
I
in a
don't.
horror film later on or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
And also, as you say, a huge crew because I mean, sometimes there'd be like painters that would just stand there and just be like going, Shh, I just want to paint something today. And they would like,
I'm bored.
sit for
Yeah,
about 2.5 months without doing anything. And then suddenly it was just like, painters. And suddenly the painter's like, yes. And they get to do tiny little, and we're used to sort of small crews and
yeah.
very kind of independent-y kind of crews. So that was it's quite major. It's yeah.
I
It's
feel
it
like
was
I
amazing.
would do better on a small set than a big
Yeah,
one because
yeah,
I don't know.
quite
It feels more,
intimidating.
yeah, it feels more intimate and more like everyone's like, I don't know. It just feels better. At least I would
Absolutely.
hope to feel it, that it does, you know.
Yeah,
But what do I know?
we had fun though. Had a lot of fun.
Um, and so like, okay, I guess we'll just get into Match right now because
Yeah.
man, this movie's something. This movie is something. So when you got the script, what was your initial what was your initial like thought? Were you like, what the hell?
Um, well, first, your agent sends it to you and goes, "Do you want to audition for this?" And I looked at the first scene, and it was literally, I think, the when I first meet Paula, and I was just like, before reading any more, I was just like, "Yeah, no, I'm in. I want to audition.
Okay.
Absolutely, count me in." And then I read the rest, and I kind of went,
Uh-oh.
oh, okay, all right." And I didn't know it at the time, but a lot of other women had been given um, the chance to audition, and a lot of them refused because of,
Of
you
course.
know,
Yeah.
certain things.
The thing.
Um, yeah, but what's so strange is that, yes, it was hectic, but I actually had to do that scene for the audition. So I did the parlor door scene, then I did the that scene where I have to like pick up Henry and take him to the bathroom and do the
Yeah.
thing. So what's weird is that I'd done it in the audition already, and it's almost like felt like it was out of the way. So
Okay.
that when we actually did do it, it was almost like, doing a theater piece where literally you just, well, I've done this. And we were handled with such care on set. So, when it came to that part, it was literally, we're going to skip over this part. You're not going to do it right now. We'll only do it once. We actually ended up doing it but 3 times because of certain things.
Right.
But it felt like old hat. It comes across as being incredibly
Graphic.
big. But that's what camera angles and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah, because
and
it's like
you know,
it's above his belly. Like you can't see anything,
yeah.
you
And it's very innocent.
know.
I think that the toughest part of that scene, weirdly enough, was just before that, when she's shouting at him. And
Right.
that was quite an emotional thing, specifically for Jacques, who played Henry and stuff. It got to him, but that just, that, and I think the whole thing is just horrendous. And I'm not,
Oh, yeah.
but it was weirdly enough the part before that was more traumatic to
I
do.
was gonna ask because like that scene, I was like, did you guys like break and laugh because like it's so like over the top, you know? You're just like, but
It
then
is.
obviously you just, but you've done it before and you did it a couple times, you know. So
Yeah. We it was quite a sort of solemn day, and quite a sort of sacred space that day. I remember it sort of like we sort of stayed in it. We knew it was coming. It was like
mhm.
cool. And then when it was over, it was over, and we had an intimacy coach, and he sort of debriefed us and talked us down from it and stuff. Weirdly enough, I was fine, but as I say, Jacques, and it wasn't that part. It was more the part before that was
Right,
that was
right.
I think really
Well,
it got to me.
I can imagine how uncomfortable he was,
Yeah.
being in all that prosthetic also.
Yeah, it's it's
That's a lot of prosthetic. So
it
I
took
was
its toll.
amazed.
That whole thing. I take my hat off to him. And I hope he doesn't mind me saying this and stuff. What I'm saying. But he
Right.
was he was a complete trooper in those prosthetics. They were so heavy and so uncomfortable, and it was like about 35 degree. It was really, really hot. So
Ugh.
bless him. And he
Yeah,
was,
hats off to Jock, 'cause that's just
yeah,
that's a lot. Um,
yeah.
and so like, during that, I mean, that whole process, did you enjoy playing that character? I mean, because I know you see that you like, the villains of like the stories and writing about them and stuff like that. Were you just kind of like when you saw that first scene, read the first scene with Paula, were you like, oh yes, I'm in, and then you were like, I can't wait for this scene to get even heavier and have to lay in thick on some of these scenes, like, were you excited about that?
Weirdly enough, I was because these kind of parts they don't come around every day, especially not here.
Right,
Um, it's and just to have like a character that you can really get your teeth into, because anything international that comes here, mostly, um, and if it's like the big blockbuster and stuff, we'll play like sort of like second waitress to the right,
right, right.
and maybe a small. I mean, I've just been in Rats, which is the Rats. It's a Witcher story, and we had like a big scene and like just one scene, but that's been cut from the movie. So
Mm.
and that's what happens is that you go, yay, I get to do this one scene for an international thing, and it's quite a big franchise and freaking A, and then it gets cut and you just go, okay, let's.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
And so we're used to that. So to have a part like Lucille where you get to do a little bit more than just like one scene
yeah, you were
with an
forefront. You were
international crew, it's
right.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too. And how you guys are mostly just like background characters.
Yeah.
And no,
Yeah.
but I loved your part in this movie. I was so like blown away by your
Uh,
performance, and I was like, please
uh,
do more of these because
uh,
you were right there. Like, yes, I got to see more of this.
uh.
I would like to see you in a play. That's where I'm like, I saw your stuff on Instagram. I'm like, yeah, what I would, if you would come to LA, I would totally come out there to see you.
Oh man, bless you. That's yeah, it's plays are just yeah, and I would love to do more of these kind of parts, but they don't
Right.
come around a lot.
Do you want to do more horror films?
I weirdly enough, in some of the comments and stuff that you see on like TikTok or whatever, it's like some people go, made for being terrifying mother and should play more of these. So I'm like, absolutely.
Hmm.
Bring it on. Yeah. Um, I love playing the bitchy and horrific characters. I never thought that I would because I don't watch horror. I mean, sorry to the viewers, but I'm far too I'm pretty damn sensitive, and I have nightmares. I ever had.
Wow,
Like, I
okay.
mean, I just watched Michael Jackson's Thriller when I was young, and I couldn't
And
sleep
that was
that
it.
night. I mean, good Lord. Uh, but now I'm
You got it.
converted. I'm watching like quite a few horror movies because of it. So yeah,
It's so
I wish
funny
I
how
did more.
like how it's so funny how people react differently because like, I was introduced to horror so early and tragically kind of. And
Really?
this is like me beating a dead horse about the story, but there was a movie back in the day, back during like VHS time called
Yeah.
The Faces of Death. And it
Hmm.
was like very controversial at the time. This is like 89, 90, somewhere around there,
Hmm.
maybe 91. And my brother rented it at the video store, and my mom didn't know what it was because he's only 4 years older than I am. So he's very young too. And all there was on the cassette tape or the VHS tape was a skull, like a almost like a poison skull,
Gosh.
right?
Yeah.
And there wasn't really any description on the back. It was kind of just like, beware of this movie kind of thing. And so he slaps it on, and it's basically a smut film of like people dying and like in horrific
Oh,
ways. It's like really
oh
bad.
God.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like 5 or 6 years old, somewhere between 5 and 7 years old. I sneak out of my room and they're watching it. And the entire time my mom's like, "What the fuck are we watching?" kind of thing.
Oh my
And
God.
then I'm like behind the couch, like looking at this. I'm like just like shocked because
Oh.
I can't, I've never seen, stuff like that.
Oh.
So I like ran away crying. Like
Oh.
And then
God.
so my mom had to like go into the next, to my bedroom, and she had to like sit down and talk to me. She's like, "Look, what you see on this, because the movie ended up being fake anyway. Like it's just very
Okay.
over the top, like crazy, like smut stuff.
Yeah.
And my mom had to sit with me. And she's like, "Look, all that stuff you saw on there is just like movie effects. It's not real. Like
Okay.
these are actors, etc." And I was like, "Oh, can I watch more different stuff?" I was like,
Okay.
how did I miss that?"
Oh my
So,
God.
I grew up being a psychopath. That was good.
No,
Um,
no, don't worry. Like my brother, I mean, he still rates like The Exorcist as one of his like favorite films of all
mhm,
time and stuff. It's like weirdly enough, I can't watch those, and I still can't. The sort of when it's got to do with like the devilly, evilly stuff. No, I
gotcha.
can't do. I probably wouldn't be able to be in any of that. It affects me too much. But Match, weird enough, I friggin' A.
Well,
Any
you nailed
like
it.
because it's just frustrating. It's so fascinating to me
Yeah.
the effects now, and now I'm like literally looking at horror movies, going, "Oh God, the prosthetics on that is so cool. And, oh my
hmm
God, that looked great," and stuff. So now I'm looking at from that point of view, which is
Oh yeah,
fun.
I love special effects. I love practical effects.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of CGI stuff, unless you
Oh,
have to, you
yeah.
know. But everything can be done prosthetically for the most
Yeah.
part.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh, Speaking of like
And that was fun.
Exorcist, yeah, I bet, yeah. Speaking of like Exorcist and like spooky stuff, do you believe in any like ghosts and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Do you have
That's
any
why I
stories?
can't. That's why I can't sort of like go into it too much because it sort of brings out that
Mm.
side, and I'm quite sort of sensitive to when I walk into a room, I can feel that there's energies here,
Oh wow,
um,
yeah.
and I can feel. I mean, I was in a haunted place when I studied, the first place that I moved into. I
Okay.
remember going to the door of the woman's house, and that we were gonna, take over the house from. And I remember her going, we said, "Is it safe, this area?" And she goes, "There's
Well,
stuff here." And I went, "Is it like robbers and stuff like that?" And she said, "No, no, you'll see." And we were just like, "Okay." And we did. And weirdly enough, the entity was fine with us, me and the friend that I was sharing with. But as soon
right.
as somebody else came to stay, it would actually harass them like
Oh,
hectically. And then one night, I felt it sort of like taking my throat, and literally like I used to have a
oh,
mattress on the floor, and I never my back never hit the floor, but suddenly I felt myself like literally my back was against the floor, and that's how hard it was pushing me down. And then I just
wow.
started praying, and then a friend of mine who sees things, she saw like quite a few things in there.
Mm,
So yeah, yeah. I can't see stuff. I never have been able to see, but I can sense stuff. I just walk into a room
yeah.
and you feel stuff has happened here.
I'm
And
the same way. Yeah. Although I have seen one spirit, um, again back when I was maybe 7 or 8, same house.
yeah.
So so the story goes, and I haven't looked at the history of the property,
Mhm.
and it still stands there today. Everything else in that neighborhood is new except for that house. That property is still old. So that tells you something, right? And so supposedly it used to be like a mortuary and like
Mhm.
a crematorium. They used to like store bodies there and like prep them for viewing, right? So
Wow.
so we always felt stuff there. We've always heard stuff there. We've always seen things fall off the walls. One time I was sitting on the couch, we were watching TV, and a
Mhm.
spirit walks by or floats by, old lady, and she like slowly, and she's in my view, and I'm like, I just freeze.
Wow.
Who the fuck is this? Kind of thing. She just like she just keeps floating, and all of a sudden she just goes through the wall, like
Oh
just
wow.
disappears. And I was all, Mom.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you see that?
Wow.
She's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, there was a lady that just, that was the only time that I saw a spirit, but I felt plenty. I've heard
Yeah,
things. It's terrifying, honestly. I never get used to it. That
absolutely.
feeling. I'm just like, I tense up still.
Yeah.
I went.
I'm weirdly enough a believer, like just spirits in general, but I
Right.
prefer the good spirits, and I've had them like touch my shoulder and
Yeah.
also sort of help me in specific, when I've been in danger and stuff. You just can feel like the steering wheel kind of just like moving without like, me moving it. I was just like, that was not me. And just certain things. I've had too much of it happen in my life to not sort of believe in it. So that's why I like to steer away from the
Right. Of course.
darker stuff. Go towards the light.
It's a little too much.
Yeah.
I went on a tour in Vegas, in Las Vegas.
Mm.
There was a there's a guy named Zach Bagans. He did a show called Ghost Hunters, I think. And he collects
Yes.
he collects things from all across the world, artifacts like haunted stuff, everything. Um
Yeah.
and there was two rooms I walked in and I was like instantly like, oh hell no. Like, the second room I walked
Yeah.
into, my cousin's right next to me. I'm like, dude, do you feel that? Like, it's heavy, dude. It's like thick, and he's like,
Yeah.
no. And then we saw a bunch of crazy shit. There was an exorcist chair in there. The
Oh,
more I got close to it, the more like black energy I felt.
oh no.
I was like, I put my hand closer to it. I was kind of like, and I was like, "Don't do it." It was
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty terrifying. But
Yeah.
luckily, I don't feel it that much anymore. Um,
Me neither. It's weird. I know. It's strange as well.
Yeah, maybe as I'm getting older, it's just like kind of dissipating a little more.
Let's leave them alone.
Well, again, thanks for bringing this mash. Seeing it got really heavy, but
Pleasure.
uh, I absolutely absolutely love doing match. I can't wait to see. Hopefully, you get casted into some more psychological,
Uh,
bad chicks, bad person-ish, things, because
I would love for there to be a prequel, to be quite honest.
that
It's
would be
like,
amazing.
there's a lot of people are sort of asking like, well, why did Henry become like that? And what did happen with the other one and the other son and
Right, right.
and the feet and stuff.
That would
Um,
make sense. Yeah.
it's yeah, and I do like have a little bit of a backstory, and I'm just like going, if I'm all for a prequel. Bring it
Well,
on.
yeah, because like there was like what at least six bodies in the room. Like when Paula
Exactly.
runs in there and she's like trying to get away from Henry. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Henry. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, it would make
So,
so much sense if you guys did a prequel. That would be
uh,
amazing.
at the
Um,
end, you basically just see like the Maria and Paula character just walking past, and it's like, yeah, sort of setting up for
uh,
them. Anyway, we'll see. Maybe
fingers
someone's
crossed.
maybe
We'll have to
I'll
do a
discuss it with
campaign,
the director. Yeah.
set up a campaign for it because
Uh,
I'm so up for that. So
friggin' A.
I'd be so to see. Yeah. Do you have anything lined up next? Movies or theater?
Only like next year, some theater, but only in June. So yeah, I'm literally like twiddling my thumbs a little bit at the moment. It's quite
Okay.
frustrating. And I'm writing my own series at the moment, so
Oh
I'm
wow.
trying to get that funded. Um, and it's just incredibly hard.
Right, right.
Yeah. Um, yeah, there's not a lot of funding that goes into like like let's say just like say Netflix. They've
Right.
already got their slate for the next 2 years, and
Oh
that's
wow.
what they take. And there's no original IP. Everything's this and this second season, that and that third season. So they do the tried and tested stuff more, so that any original IP is not really funded. So you literally have to do it pretty independently. And for a series, you need quite a bit of money.
Right, right.
But I'm just doing what I can.
Well, I hope that
But
gets
I'm
funded
excited for
soon
it.
because I want to see what else he wrote. I want to see what becomes of it. I'm a fan.
Oh,
I'm a fan of you. So
oh man, bless you. Thank you so much.
no.
Seriously,
Yeah. I
means the world.
again. I'm so grateful that you came on. Talked a little bit about a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
And I really hope that that gets off ground, and I want to see you in more stuff. If
Thank
you're ever
you.
in the States, I would love to see one of your plays.
Oh,
That would be
brilliant.
amazing. Um,
I would, I'm
so on the
hoping.
yeah, I know. I On the way out, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in some of my stuff, and then if you want to plug in your channel, your account. So the podcast account is beyond the underscore ether on the Instagram. My
Yeah.
personal account is Kelly underscore DTO, which I always tag myself in anyway. And then
Mhm.
if anybody wants to email us for anything, like, you hate my voice or you hate the way I look, I don't give a shit. It's Buku2025 at Gmail. And if you want to go ahead and plug in your social, you can. Otherwise, I can just tag you later on. It's fine. Um,
That's great. I mean, I'm
okay.
I'm I'm really bad at social media at completely, but I know that my handle is Dianne with a double N-E Simpson Simps Simps, and
Okay.
it's at Dianne Simpson is my Instagram.
And
But I'm
yeah,
really bad at
I'll still
Instagram, so
tag it. Okay, I'll still tag you in it
okay,
anyway. And
brilliant.
and then also yeah, please, for those that are listening, please watch Match on Tubi. Uh, it is quite the ride. I think whoever, you'll enjoy it. I did. Uh, Diane's amazing in it. So
Thank
watch,
you.
enjoy, and just I will see you guys next week. There's an episode every week. So we'll see you then. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.